When someone asks, tell me about your world setting, what do you say? Well, it's kind of like, it's got elves in it, and magic, and cheese. You need an elevator pitch, a concise description of your entire world building project that you can share in a few lines or about 30 seconds. Because a world setting is a big thing to convey quickly, and that's why elevator pitches are critical. Whether you're pitching your latest fantasy novel to an agent or explaining your new RPG campaign to your players. So I've made you this video. From the opening sentence to the aspirational moment, I'll take you through a clear system for putting together the most kick-ass elevator pitch for your world. Whether that's an RPG campaign setting, novel series world, or a World Anvil world you're building for fun. Here's an example written specifically with this formula. We are not the first to venture among these stars, this galaxy of species. The ancient golems, builders of the Waystar gates, are long gone, driven off by some destructive force. But much of their tech remains, hidden, forgotten, and potentially world-ending in the wrong hands. Now, corporations hold sway. Vast empires rise and fall, and gangs of pirates pick at the remains, all in search of opportunity. Will you fall in with dangerous criminals or galactic giants? Recover the megalithic tech of the ancient ones, or forge new paths through the infinite stars? Your world is awesome. You know it, I know it, and your future audience needs to know it too. The best elevator pitch is a taster, building excitement for your audience about the big stuff in your setting. Elevator pitches aren't just great for sharing your work with others. They can be a really useful world-building tool too. Think of it as a mini reference document that you can check back with to see if everything's on message for your world. All well and good, but what should go into your elevator pitch? Well, like any good recipe, to get started, you're going to need some ingredients. Key information about your world. Your genre bundle and your setting's mood and themes. 1 or 2 of the core conflicts in your setting. And how does your audience fit in? What kind of fun are we having? This core information needs to be present in your elevator pitch. After all, it's the most important stuff about your world. We'll start with genre bundle. Sure, some worlds have just one genre, but most have more than one. For example, Star Trek has aspects of military sci-fi, but it also touches on soft sci-fi and even space opera. And D&D takes an everything and the kitchen sink approach, with loads of subgenres under its high fantasy banner. Try to work out what belongs in your genre bundle for your world setting. It's the first step in communicating that to others. Next, let's talk mood and theme. This is the more emotional side of your genre, the thing that separates Game of Thrones and Battlestar Galactica from The Princess Bride and early Star Trek. Is your world gritty and dark, or bright and beautiful? And how is that expressed? Perhaps there's a feeling of optimism or of pessimism in your world. Next, core conflicts. What are the big things happening in your world? Is there an eternal war going on? Have denizens of an ancient empire started waking up? Is there a plague sweeping through your world? For your elevator pitch, you'll need one core conflict, and you might hint at some of the secondary ones. If you're looking for more ideas, I've linked my world hook generator and my current affairs generator in the description. And for your final ingredient, how does your audience fit in? This is really 2 questions. What kind of media is it? And what kind of fun are we having? The first question is simple. Is your world setting for a game, for a novel, or something else? If you're using your world for more than one medium, start with an elevator pitch for the first one that you'll be working on. You can expand more later. And how about what kind of fun are we having? Are we detectives solving murders? Adventurers exploring lost cities? Sneaking into political intrigue? Or hacking and slashing? And who are the major factions involved? That doesn't mean your characters won't be doing a variety of different things in your setting, but helping people understand what kinds of stories you'll be telling sets expectations. That's especially important for RPGs because it helps players craft appropriate characters. The question, what kind of fun are we having, by the way, is from Lawrence Schick. It's been my favourite question since I interviewed him. I've linked that interview in the description as well if you want to check that out. I was so starstruck. So now you have all your ingredients ready for your elevator pitch, it's time for the next step. How do you actually craft your elevator pitch for world building. Your elevator pitch will combine your ingredients in 3 steps. Where are we? What's going on? And who are we? Or who are we following? We are not the first to venture amongst these stars, this galaxy of species. So what does that tell us? Well, we're in space, and there's a whole bunch of alien species. And we're spacefaring, which probably means we're in spaceships. That little fragment is already doing a lot of work telling us what's going on. The ancient golems, builders of the Waystar Gates, are long gone, driven off by some destructive force, but much of their tech remains. This is the what's going on section, which I've split into 3 main conflicts. A mysterious destructive threat that still looms in the galaxy, powerful ancient technology, and a gold rush to find and exploit it. Oh, and as a bonus point, I dropped in the term Waystar Gates because it was the titular concept of this RPG that I was working on. Will you fall in with dangerous criminals or galactic giants? Recover the megalithic tech of the ancient ones, or forge new paths through the infinite stars? This is what kind of fun are we having? I'm offering some kinds of playstyles that players might want to engage with. You can run missions for organized crime and gang warfare, or other major powers. You can explore, you can do space archaeology, or you can even invent your own new tech. So I literally just followed that formula. Where are we? What's going on? And what kind of fun are we having? If you want to try it for yourself, pause the video and try writing down your elevator pitch in the comments. You can link to your World Anvil world if you want to as well, so interested comment readers can then go and find it and fall in love with it. Once you have those 3 ingredients and you've written a first draft, it's time to level up your elevator pitch. Writing is rewriting after all, and we want to polish this until it will shine. Keep it snappy. Avoid long or run-on sentences. You're introducing your world to someone new, so make it easy to understand. Match your language to your tone. If your setting is whimsical or poetic, use poetic turns of phrase. High-octane action settings should use dynamic and engaging vocabulary. Embrace the useful tropes. If there are major buzzwords or tropes associated with your setting, like spaceports, megacorporation, or elves, make sure you include these in your setting. It's a quick path to understand. And use powerful verbs. Those little words have a lot of lifting power, so search for strong alternatives to convey more meaning in less time. And since we're on tips, here are some things to watch out for in your elevator pitch. Standard caveat here that I am not your mother and you can do what you want. Don't overstuff your elevator pitch. Remember, an elevator pitch should be quick and simple. And skip the jargon. Leave out any confusing technical terms from your pitch unless you can explain them in 2 to 3 words. Triboomium and arcane ordination do not belong in your elevator pitch. Don't over-explain. I don't need your whole plot line or 18 generations of genealogy for your main character. Leave us wanting more. And speaking of wanting more, no spoilers! Don't reveal critical events that will make your world less fun for us to play in or read about. Err on the side of hints and rhetorical questions to tantalize your readers. So if you want to, pause the video now and you can edit or re-comment your elevator pitch under this video, removing any of those pesky common errors and upgrading your language to juicy status. If you've been following along, you probably have a revised elevator pitch. Awesome! What do you do with it now? Well, it's time to test it out. Share it with your friends, players, or beta readers, and pay attention to their first reactions. Are they excited? Confused? Are they curious to learn more? If people are excited by your pitch, then congratulations! You've got a great tool that you can hook your audience in with. Since elevator pitches are critical, they appear at the top of your world homepage on World Anvil, so add it there too. That's prime real estate for your amazing world. I do also recommend scrolling through the comments of this video to discover your next favourite world. There's going to be some amazing things in there. If this video was helpful, then please give it a like and subscribe for more world building advice, tips, tricks, and that kind of stuff. Alright, my beans, now grab your hammer and go world build.